Hey, welcome back to coronavirus lockdown. So I need to change this thing because it's not comedy. I know I said comedy, but it's not. The intention was for it to be comedy, but then the universe had something else for me to do. So so that's where we use this what's going on as my Moses is I have this beautiful cat, Moses, the best cat in the world, and now he's on the bed, just sleeping so comfortable, not a care in the world. Um, my best friend, and it's just so funny though, because never had a desire to have kids. Well, I take that back. I did at one point. Thought I wanted kids, but I think it was all because you thought you should have kids. That's one of the reasons why we are here, to keep the human race going, um, on a more grand scale. But not everyone should have kids. Um, but it's nice having my cat because I think about when hanging out and running. Okay, I need to get home to Mo, whatever he has to eat. So it's been nice to have um, a responsibility of taking care of someone else. Well, he is a someone. He's not a thing. He's a cat. So that's been a wonderful lesson of gratitude and things. So yeah. So it is hard. It is absolutely. I'm okay. I'm gonna do this branding thing, and I'm in the process of getting myself in shape. I've always been in shape because I was a dancer, classically trained dancer. I started when I was 13. Ballet in Florida, Jacksonville Ballet, school, and doing that, and then getting accepted into Douglas Anderson School of the Arts, and as a dancer, and and doing so it's like, and then going professional. By the time I was 18, and then doing that for 12 years or so, making money, having the time of my life, traveling, just awesome. It was just awesome. So I've always been someone who was in shape, very and during the time I was taking dance classes, I was on a swim team in high school and track team. So, which was great. I tried to do football. No. I tried to do baseball. No. No, just was not for me. And I got hit with the ball. I didn't like the tackling in football. And I got hit with the ball trying to do baseball, and my mother freaked. But she freaked with me, but didn't freak with my other brothers. But anyway, that's a whole nother story. Maybe she saw something that I now know that I didn't know at that time. So anyway, so so I've always been physical and staying in shape and conscious about. That was one of the first things I became conscious about was my eating and sugar and salt, because I also have high blood pressure, sugar, and stuff in the family. And so around 17, I became very conscious of that. And I don't always use. I do. I'm probably using a little bit more salt than I did when I was dancing it earlier. Not even as much, because I don't put any extra salt when I order food out. I will at home cook with some salt. But I don't add any salt to any of my food or to my friend when I order out or anything like that. I don't, because this stuff is already seasoned. It's already seasoned. Home, you have to add some seasoning because stuff isn't seasoned. You have to season stuff when you homemade, when you cook at home. So I've always been but I've always been on the lean side. Somewhat but lean. And now I'm trying to get bulky. Not trying. Let me rephrase. I'm not trying to get bulky. I am going to get bulky. that this is the last roha, as they would say, before my body will not, it won't be the same, and it'd be difficult. So this, for me, it's like I am going to get bulky. I am. It's not like it's not going to try. I am going to get bulky. I am going to get the butt I want. I am going to get the arms I want. I am going to get the calves I want. I am going to get the thighs I want. I am going to get the stomach I want. I am going to get it. It is going to happen. And I'm the type of person when I say I'm going to do something, I am going to do it. There's no ands, if, or buts. It's like recovery. I went back out. And I knew if it didn't kill me, I also knew in the process of me going back out that I was taking a chance. I also continued to meditate and was honest. I also made sure that anything that I did when I was out, that it was a choice that I made. That I was understanding whether I was making it in the moment of being an addiction or whatever. It was a choice. Whether it was a conscious choice or an unconscious choice. It was a choice that I was making. And I needed to be prepared for the repercussion. And when I decided to go back into recovery, that I was not going to go into the rooms of recovery with guilt or shame. Because that serves no purpose. And I am a grown man. So that was one of the things I did when I finally decided to go back into recovery. That I was not going to go back into, because I also make sure that when I was relapsing, that I did nothing that I had to, that would cause me to feel bad or guilty. I didn't steal. I didn't rob. I didn't do, if I didn't have the money, I didn't have the money. If I didn't have the money and someone else, I'd say, well, I don't have the money, I don't get, and if I did do something like, oh, okay, if you do that, I'll pay you back when I get paid. So I would pay them back, you know what I mean? So I make sure that I did nothing out there when I came back to the rooms that was carrying any guilt or any shame. That also made it a lot easier for me to walk back into the rooms. And I did not walk into the rooms with any guilt or any shame. Because I had to look back and say, whether I did something or not, I have to take full responsibility that I did it. Whether I did it in a conscious moment or unconscious moment, I made that choice. And so going back into the rooms, there was no time for shame or embarrassment or guilt. And I don't have it. I don't have it. Completely different from the first time I went into rooms. And the issue that I was dealing with when I went into them, completely different. Which I have resolved those issues. Those were pressing issues. Those issues were weighing down. Now I'm back in the room with totally, not totally different issues. The issues that I'm back in the room now were the undercurrent at the bottom of the pole. I have other pressing issues that I really needed to resolve and let go. And this right here, when I'm back in the room now, is finishing up the residue that was not as important. It was important, but not as important as the other pressing issues. So it's a continuation, but now it's on a deeper level. You know what I'm saying? Those other issues were superficial, but they were real. But I see them as superficial. And now I'm back in the room dealing with that base, the final base of self-love, self-acceptance, and how you talk to yourself. So that's where I'm at now, dealing with cleaning, at that. And so, and that's what's great about what's happening right now, because this gives you the opportunity to evaluate and ask yourself tough questions. Ask yourself tough questions. What's important? How do you see yourself? How do you want to be in the world? How do you want to be in the space? How do you want to be in the space? How do you want to be in a space? And I'm not worried. And for me, I'm not worried about if we're here for a month or 2 months. I'm not worried about isolation. I know what real isolation is. And that's isolation, because as long as there's people in the world and people around you, you're not isolated. The only place you are isolated is in the mind. And because I understand that's where most people are going to be dealing with isolation, or what I will be dealing with isolation, is in the mind, I just want to allow my mind to be isolated. it's as simple as that. I won't allow my mind to be isolated. Because in my situation, I'm not isolated. I actually had two roommates. So if I feel like I need some human contact and I'm stuck, I can go out there and chat and whatever. So I had to take care of that false narrative. I mean, if you're living by yourself and you don't have, you know what I mean? But okay, maybe you can convince yourself you're isolated. But are you isolated? Because you can always get on social media and connect with friends. You also call your family on all these apps where you can see face to face. That's socializing. Is it physical socializing? No. You also call friends. You can talk on the phone. That's socializing. Is it physical socializing? No. But it is socializing. And the mind will see that as socializing. Your spirit will see that as socializing. And your spirit won't see that as isolation. So, are we really isolated? If you take what the definition of what true isolation is, no. So a lot of it will be people choosing to play mind games with themselves. So and because I know that I'm fine. I am absolutely fine. Also with the recovery, it's not my first rodeo with recovery, so I'm not worried about having desire to want to have a drink or get high. It's like no. Plus, I've been in the rooms, and the motto in the rooms is no matter what. No matter what, we do not use, we do not relapse, no matter what. So I have that in my mind, no matter what. And I'm coming up on 90 days and on April the 5th, which will be, I think, Sunday. And the last 90 days have been beautiful, have been absolutely beautiful. I have been there's been some moments of taking things that people have said personal that I've had to shape because once again, it's not my madness, it's their madness, and I allowed that energy and but that's learning and being able to go, okay. And but what's great about that, I've been able to see it, evaluate it, and walk through it. And so I'm not at 90 days yet, so for the last couple of months or so, it's actually been really, really beautiful. When I have had moments of issues or things I want to discuss, if I felt like it was going to make a difference, then I would go to the source. If I felt like it was going to be make a difference, like at work. Like I'm quickly, if something comes up at work, I want to get with the people. I want to talk to the other coworkers and say, okay, what's going on? What did I do? How can we fix this? And let me take ownership for what my part. I didn't do this or I didn't do that, and I'm sorry for that. If I feel that it's going to move us in a more positive, more of a perfect union, then I will. Then I'm quickly to want to fix it. But if I know that it's not going to change the base, and then it's okay. This is not going to move. This is not going to really move us forward. So do I need to have this conversation? Do I need to bring this up? And once I evaluate it, no, I need to do what I need to do for myself and make sure that I'm not carrying on any energy and carrying it to the next moment. And once I do that, I say, okay, I can let this go. This you pick and choose. This is not a battle or a conversation that I need to do. So I'm going to choose to do something different. And that's one of the great things about the 90 days. Even be learning and being less reactionary and being able to make conscious choices and healthier choices. Like I say, I'm still at the base, walking into my own skin, my own comfortability, my own self-love. And there's things that arise from that are my own insecurities, that I'm making things personal that they don't need to be personal because it's not my mask. But I know once I get to that point to where I love myself no matter what, and I'm 100% comfortable in my skin, the less I will be paying, not less, I will not be paying attention to any intentions or thoughts or personal digs or trying to make me feel as bad as they feel, because it just won't permeate. You know what I mean? Because I realize when your base is strong and your self love is unwavering and it's real self love, because real self love allows you not to be judgmental of others. Real self love allows you to move through space and not be reactionary. Real self love allows you to take people at who they are, and real self love allows you to listen and hear and see each individual as they are and validate them. Real self love. Real self love doesn't have any gossip or bad intentions, and so I know when I am able to get there. And all this stuff about race and white folks, or even holding on to the stuff about my experience with Mexicans and California, or all that stuff, it would just cease to exist. It would be a thing of the past. I've let go, and I can judge each person on their own value and what bring to the table. So there's so for me, it's like I know there's a reason why the universe is bringing this stuff up, because it's bringing it up for me, for the purpose of me. It's not for the purpose of anyone else. Everything that happens and everything that the universe brings to you is for your purpose. It's for your growth. It's for you to be awakened. It's for you to become a conscious person. And when you become for each person who becomes a conscious person, which means you're making conscious choices. And those conscious choices begin to bleed out in everything. They become in how you react with you, how you eat, how you social. I mean, so it's like once you become a conscious person, then other aspects of your life you start becoming conscious, and even how you prepare your food, how you choose to eat, all that stuff, because all that becomes part of the spiritual growth. And when each person who begins to get there, that means you take the human race one step closer to this higher spiritual consciousness. So, and I think that's part of the purpose that each person is here to become conscious and to take the human race to a higher purpose of spiritual connection. So for me, that's how I see. And that's what I believe. That's how I see it. That's what I believe. As crazy as it may sound to some people. So yeah, so I'm actually, and maybe because and I have to be honest, maybe because I'm still able to work, maybe because of that's allowing me not to be stressful or going into, maybe, I don't know, because it is what it is, and maybe, but we're gonna see, because I'm pretty sure if I'm meant to be put to the test, then the universe will, with my help, will create a situation where that theory would be put to the test. Make sure I'm standing on solid ground. So that is, yeah. So, I say what else? I've been trying not to watch so much news, because the news can be really daunting, especially with the coronavirus and this and that, and not listening to the guy in the White House, because that's just, I'm not going to put any negative thoughts, although I have already thought of a few names for this guy. I'm just not going to express them today. Today, I'm not going to express them. But it's hard. It is very, very, very hard not to allow yourself to succumb to other people's madness. But yes, it is. It is really. But I've decided that I'm just going to focus on not ignore the negative stuff that pops up in my head, not ignore the judgment that pops up in my head. Just be aware of that, but not act out on that uncomfortability. And that's a great start. That's a beautiful, beautiful start. So I haven't eaten, and I've been pretty good about making sure I have breakfast and lunch, snack in between, because I'm not trying, I'm picking up weight. And so this morning I didn't eat anything, and I was hungry, but I meditated for 40 minutes, which was beautiful. I worked out for 30 minutes, and then I went and did some manscaping, which manscaping for me is very, very important. Something that I started doing when I was like 13, manscaping. I don't get much hair on my body anyway. So maybe if I had a lot more hair, maybe I wouldn't manscape. But for me, like to see little specks of hair on the arm, a little bit on my chest, and a little bit, it's like, oh, okay, that either give me hair or give me nothing. So yeah, and plus it's just like personal groom. I need to set up a dentist appointment when I get there because I need to get my teeth cleaned. I need to get my eyebrows done. I need to get a pedicure and manicure. Yeah, very important that I take care of. Because see, this is where it becomes funny. I've always been this person because I've never considered myself an attractive person. I've always felt like that I need to make sure that everything in my body is in the best shape that it can be. I need to make sure that my toenails are in the best shape they can be, that my feet look the best that they can be, that my fingers look the best they can be, that my body looks the best. Like I've always like I'm not one of those people. Like I'm not one of those beautiful men who can afford, like maybe not to shower a couple of days, let the nail, you know what I mean? I can't. Because anything that I do that doesn't make me look better will make me look worse. So when it comes to my personal, making sure that my toenails are this and that, and my eyebrows and this and that and this, the only thing I will let go is my shaving. I mean, not always getting my eye done. Not always getting my eyebrows done. They're not bad. Even I didn't, I never needed to get my eyebrows because I didn't have the brow thing in the middle. I've always had to, but just extra stuff, make one feel good. So so when I remember I had my toenails was turning black, and I've noticed that with older folks, guys, because that's the first thing I look at when I'm thinking about dating someone. I look at the feet. That's the first thing I look at. Yes, because feet are very important. Feet are very important, and if you can't take care of your feet, no. So that's something. Even when I look at that, like when people are wearing flip flops, guys and girls, and I say, okay, you take care of his feet. Take care of feet doesn't mean you have to do what other guys or the girl or the pedicure, manicure, and everything. No, just making sure their toenails are shaved and whatever. Anyway, I noticed my toenails were turning black, which completely freaked me out. Because my first thought was like, oh my God, I am not an attractive man, and I cannot have my toenails turning black. I didn't know what it was about. I knew it was probably some fungus or something, whatever. So I made a doctor's appointment, and I went to the doctor quick. Of course, it had something to do with aging, which I was like, what? And he said, well, it's not anything bad. I was like, yes, it is. He said, well, I can give you something, but I have to test your liver. It could be big side effects. I mean, you don't really, it's not, and I'm like, I don't care. Get me the prescription. I do not care. I will deal with side effects, but I am not going to have busted toenails. I can't afford it. Of course, he was laughing. And nurse, whatever, was laughing. I'm like, no. So they ran the test on my liver to make sure I had to have healthy liver. And I just had to take because I'm taking prep. So you have to go in constant. So I knew I had to have the liver. So once they did the test and realized and said I had to have the liver, I got the pills. And I had to take them for maybe, I think, 2 months. And then I stopped. And at first, when I first stopped, I still had the black. And I was like, I emailed it. They did. I don't know. They didn't. We have to do this again. And then, little by little, the nails turned back to their color. And I was like, oh. Because I, from the South, and we wear flip-flops. And I have some flip flops, and I thought, oh no, and now they're fine. They're fine now. So that's a no no. I'm not a feet person, but I am a feet person when it comes to I kind of size that up. It's like cause I'm like that, and and what was so funny about that? That's something I became as when I was a teenager, yeah, because I would constantly see older men, no matter what color they were, that they didn't. It's like something happens when you got old. You quit. They had busted toenails. The toenails were grown. I had grown. No one was clipping them, and I don't know if it had anything to do with age and all. And when I say age, when I was young, I mean anybody who was fit. I mean I became obsessed. Like, oh my god, that's what my toenails are gonna look like when I get. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. So even in my 20s, I was getting manic, making sure that I aged my feet age as well as they could. That was something I was obsessed with because I'm like, I am not gonna be one of those older men who let my toenails, let my toes know go because they are just as important as my face and my rest of my body, just as important. And so yeah, so that was something that was I took upon myself when I was younger because when I kind that's something I always did. That was the first thing I looked at, and I always found out the guys that were attractive or cute always had cute feet, always. Or the guys that I thought were sexy. They might not always been pretty boys, but they always had nice feet. So I associated nice feet with attractiveness. So I became very obsessed, making sure that because I'm like I'm not one of those attractive boys. So I need to make sure that my feet and women, pretty much women. I'm always shocked when I see a woman who feet are busted. When I say busted, I mean they don't have to be perfect. I mean with toenails are grown, and because women, no matter what their social, economical, whether they're poor or they always have pretty feet, manicured and all. So very seldom do I see women with um. Now when I say bust, I don't mean because not everybody has perfectly shaped toes or pretty shaped. You know what I mean? So yeah, I allow for that kind of stuff. I'm usually talking about just fingernails and toenails and stuff like that. But so I very seldom see a woman who has busted toenails, and all that. They always have their toes done and always cute, no matter how old they are. So first of all, you think, well, if a 65 or 70-year-old woman can have her toes looking good and nice, then a man can too, whether he's gay or straight. So that excuse about being no, that's just laziness. Now in that aspect, that is lazy. So yeah, and my friends used to laugh. I'm like, no, that's the first thing I look at is feet. They don't have to be perfect, but that tells me a lot. You know, no, it's unacceptable. Um, so that's something that I'm constantly because I'm so in tune with my body. I'm constantly paying attention. Okay, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? It's very important to me. Very, 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 very important to me. So and it's not in a vain way. It's just something to be, you know, you know. I don't have money, so I can't have surgery and all that. I can't go pay someone to make some correction. So I have to make sure that I'm, you know, that the base is good. That the base is good. So I'm very yeah, yeah. I remember one time I went on a date with this guy, and we got to his place, and nothing. There was a time when I was very prunish, but he took off his socks. This is a white guy, and he took off his shoes and stuff, and and he didn't have he had long toenails, and that was it. Like he did, it's like he took a lot of care with his toenails, and that was like, oh, okay, no, no, because I jumped to the future because it's like if he's not doing it now, they're not going to look good when he gets 50, and that was just a no no. We had a good laugh, friends and I had a good laugh, but after that's yeah, that's where my mind goes. It's just no reason. There's just no reason. Especially now when we have doctors and that stuff to do. It's like if you can, yeah. So that's why when I saw my toenails were getting black, I quickly jumped on that, because it was making me extremely self conscious about my feet, and I wouldn't So that's another reason why it was making me, and I wasn't able to let go. So it's like okay, I have to do this because I'm not gonna be able to. It's gonna keep me from wearing sandals and all that during the summer. So I had to do something. So the point I'm making is during this coronavirus, I think we all have to think about this. Not think about this, but see this as a teachable moment, a moment for to talk about what is really important, and to talk about what real isolation is. Because for me, I believe as long as I have a phone and I have a computer, I can connect with people. Therefore, it cancels isolation because you may not be able to see, physically, but the mind doesn't make a difference between physical connection or being, in a moment. I mean, I think if you had to be isolated in a room for a year, that would become an issue because we all want a human connection, a physical human connection. But we're not talking about a year. We're talking about something that's going to probably last maybe 2 months. And I think for 2 months, I think we can, um, deal with not having some human skin to skin connection, hand to hand connection. I don't think 2 months is going to kill you, or kill any of us. But that's just my personal belief and what I think. So I am, yeah. So it's good. So I'm doing. Um, I've been reading really learning into because I'm a Buddhist. So I've been carrying the books. I can really get into my nurture. I'm horrible at pronunciation, which I need to learn the pronunciation so I can feel comfortable um, talking talking about my practice. But I want to dive more into because right now I am not comfortable with my and talking about my practice and trying to bring people into my practice because I believe it's a great practice. I believe it's a wonderful thing to have in your life because I don't know a lot about the intricate details about my practice. I feel very uncomfortable, but trying to bring people into my practice, and that's something I plan to um, change. I'm not going to try to change. I'm going to change so I can talk about something that brings me great joy and also brings me great peace that I absolutely love, and it also makes my recovery process even more tangible and more I don't know, reachable. I mean, because because I do believe that a spiritual, I do believe that I need to have all aspects of me, physical, mentally, and spiritually, all connected in line, especially in this journey of recovery. They all need to be in line together, and it makes it a lot easier to move forward. So I am I'm just so happy. I am so happy. I am so grateful. I am so, um, I feel good about my future. I feel good about moving forward. I feel good about where I'm going. I feel good about my possibilities. I also believe that it's not too late for me to have my dream to be a working actor. I don't know what it is, but the spirit in the universe is telling me that it's not too late. I mean, I spent so many years training. I was a professional dancer, and I dived in that. And when I became an actor, I trained. I didn't just wake up and say I want to be. I mean, I studied at a year at New Actors. I mean, 2 years at New Actors Workshop. I studied a year at Stella Act. I studied a year at School Film and Television. I studied a year at AMDA. I mean, I spent like about a good 10 years studying acting, studying different techniques. I'm learning about writing and all that stuff. So it's not like I just woke up and decided I want to be an actor and I just did it. No, I studied my craft. I treated acting just like I treated dancing. I had to go to class every day. I had to practice every day. I had to rehearse every day. I went to class every day for what 20 something years. And some days and when I was at A-Lit, I was in class from 9 until 6, and then rehearsal. And then when of course you become a professional dancer, you're rehearsing from 9 in the morning to 12 at night. And so so it's like, so how dare I decide? I mean, I wanted to be an actor before I became a dancer because I was hit with the acting bug at 10. But then I got hit with the dance bug, and I knew dancing was something you had to seize the moment And acting you can always go back to, but dancing you have to seize the moment. So I seized the moment, and it also prepared me for the self growth that I'm in this moment in now. Because I believe if it wasn't for dance and the art, I think I would have found drugs and it would have been a lot more self destructive in my life. A lot more self destructive, would have been more self harmful. Because of the art, because of dance, um, it gave me a lifeline. It gave me a deeper self awareness, and the universe was protecting me and giving me that energy. It allowed me to have that dance, to letting that anger and frustration that I was holding, that I would continue to carry. I was able to um, put it into my dance, and because I was able to put it into my dance, it was protecting me from self harm and acting out. And so it was another way the universe, it was like I do not believe me being a dancer was a coincidence. I do not believe me being an actor was a coincidence. I believe it was part of the universe divine, because those are the things that I needed as an individual that would allow me to survive and allow me not to bring as much self harm or destruction to my life. And I look back and say, it's not a coincidence that the universe was preparing me and giving me the tools to be in this exact moment that I am in. And it's not a coincidence that I am in recovery, and this time I'm in recovery, and it's black folks, black and brown, but pretty much black folks in this area, and it's teaching me to not only to love myself, but also to love a community that I was afraid to love, and I was afraid to be a part of, and I didn't think they accepted me, and so it's not forcing me, but just put me in a spot to. I come from a powerful people. I come from a strong people. I come from a smart people. I come from go-getters. I come from fighters. I come from a rich history. I come from movers and shit. I come from the mothers and fathers of humanity. I come from people where life started. We are the creators of life. And we possess every race that you see out there, every color. We possess those genes. Those are ours. So it's just kind of like you sit here and I forgot. And I was embarrassed. I was ashamed to claim this richness, this beauty that I am a part of. And I spent most of my life trying to be white or trying to be something other and denying my own power, denying my own strength, denying my own beauty. And I'm at this age where I'm ready to claim my crown. I am ready to claim my crown. And in order for me to do that, I need to be comfortable and solid in my foundation. And when I am comfortable and solid in my foundation, no matter what negative energy or bias or racist energy that I get, it will not impede on my self-love. It will not impede on how I see the world and how I move through space. It will not impede. And I am so honored and I am so grateful to be in that place, to be in that strength and that beauty. It is a joy. It is a joy. And I'm just happy. I'm just super, super happy. And I'm just happy. I'm happy. And so what I can, just to keep going and just, just, uh, just be powerful. Just be, oh my God, just be powerful. Just being powerful in my own skin. Being gracious and loving and caring in my own skin. I am so happy. I am so, so happy. I'm just, I'm happy. I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be right now. And this coronavirus and this stuff that's going on in the world and the universe confirms that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be. I'm exactly where this journey is supposed to take me. And this virus is a moment for me to come into my own skin and to know that no matter what happens, I am protected. I am protected, and I am not dying anytime soon. And if I do get corona, I'm going to be fine. I'm going to be better than fine. I'm going to be good. This is a moment to walk into love. This is a moment to walk into kindness. This is a moment to walk into self-acceptance. This is a moment to walk in. I know better, so I will do better. This is the moment to walk into community. This is a moment to walk into your own power, whatever that power may be. If it's the woman power, or black power, or Asian power, to walk into that power and to embrace and to love all those around you, regardless if you know them or not know them. But this is what this teaches us: that we are all connected. That we are all connected, and how we live our lives and how we move, it affects other people. Not self-isolate, not self-discipline, can affect someone else. It can kill someone else. So once again, the universe is reminding us that we are connected, that love is love. Have love for the people at the front line, the doctors and nurses, by self-discipline, that love is love, and you can have the same love and respect and kindness that you have for your family members and that you have for a stranger. That's what this coronavirus is teaching, that the universe sees love as love. There's no, we put this personal attachment to love. Oh, I love this because this is family, or because I know them. And the universe is telling you, no, my children, love is love. Love is love. The same love you want for your family and your children and loved ones is the same love you can have for a stranger. To know thyself is to know God. And God was telling us when he was whining with the hookers and taxpayers and all that no, my love for them is the same love I have for people who may be living a life that may be better. Because love is love. I don't distinguish between, oh, this person don't deserve it because I don't know them, or they live a live. No, love is love. And when you know that and you accept that, to know thyself is to know God. And I'm not a Christian. So the universe is reminding us that we are connected. We are all one. And when we rise together, we all rise. And that is the lesson that the universe is teaching you, that we are all one. So it's up to us to walk into that power, to walk into that space, and see each and every person with love and compassion, no judgment. And I fall short because I'm dealing with my own biases, especially when it comes to white folks and Latino. I'm finding my own biases, that because I've had to deal with so much, you carry that stuff, and I'm saying, no, I don't want to carry someone else's history or someone else's story. I know the kind of man I'm going to be, not the kind of man I want to be. I know the kind of man, the kind of person I am going to be. I am going to be the person that I see in my head, the person who is loving of all, who validates all, who sees all, who hears all, who's compassionate to all, no matter what race, no matter if you hate me or like me. My love for you will not change. That's the person I am going to be. That's the kind of man I want to age into. A kind of man that is not judging or criticizing or tearing people down, but who always moves through space with love, kindness, respect, and not denying the negative energy or my own what pops up, but not being a reactionary and not letting that move my needle. And how I love all and bring that into the space. So when anytime craziness or negative, I'm always able to remain calm and move from a place of love. Because I know for me, when I find myself doing that in the moments that I'm able to live in that space, I feel so much good about me. From the moments I'm able to live in that space, it's because in those moments, I also feel good about me. But I'm not able to sustain that because most of the time I don't feel good about me. And I know that. So where I'm at now is where I need to be so I can have that base where I feel good about me 24 hours a day, no matter what. And when I'm there, that means that I can remain in that space and not being reactionary and giving each and every person I come in contact with love, because my base is strong. My base is strong. My base is strong. God, I am so grateful. I am so grateful. Thank you, guys. Thank you. You guys have a good night. good day and enjoy your week.